So whenever we're ready. Okay, welcome all to the November 5th meeting of the Dudley Board of Water Sewer Commissioners. I have to advise everyone that this meeting is being recorded, and we start every meeting in Dudley with a Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Minutes from October 1st.
Mr. Chairman, I'll make a motion to accept the minutes from October 1st as written.
Motion's been made. Is there a second?
Second.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? You abstaining?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So it's 4-0-1. Minutes. How can we accept those minutes?
The Webster minutes?
Yeah,
Do we just table it?
we have to table that because I just gave you the notes just now.
No, this is the previous Webster one.
Oh, the previous, okay.
Yep. 9/17.
Oh, that, all right, that's right. Okay, this is the 17th. All right.
I'm going to abstain because I wasn't at that one.
Accept,
Make a motion to accept the minutes of September 17th.
okay, motion's been made. Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? That would be 4-0-1. He's not here. We'll take it up if he comes, if he shows up. The sewer moratorium. What is the status, George, on the work that Ty and Bond is doing on the I&I down in the lower end?
We've got the grant coming in December for $250,000, and with that, we're gonna start using our flow monitors, put them in probably springtime, just after the winter, put those in, and that'll be getting us an idea of how we're making out with the various interceptors going over. So everything has been done as much as we can do right now. The upper side is in good shape, and from the SSOs that haven't occurred that maybe should have in some of these rains, we've not had any. So, but we can't do any testing or anything until we put those in to give facts to DEP or, what's going on and how well we've done.
Okay. Just a question was brought up. I'm not even sure who brought it up about whether or not we should extend the moratorium to cover the rest of town
Yeah, it was brought up at the last meeting.
at the last
brought
meeting.
that up, I
Oh,
Yeah, I
and
think you, I
you
think you were the one that brought it up.
to consider, okay, to consider the, all right, so this
I said
dragged
that-
over, okay.
I think I said to you, let me get some time to get together with Paul and go over, and this is what we came up with when I did talk to him. When we were waiting on the grant, it looks like we got the grant, so with that money, now we can move forward. But right now, winter's coming and stuff, so we're gonna have to wait till that finishes, that's all.
Okay, so,
I think the intent was because we had brought it up that there was issues with the pipes down there, not just the interceptor.
right, we really don't know yet
We
where.
haven't found some of the manholes and we don't know.
Have you found those?
We're just waiting for the vegetation to get away a little bit more, and then we're gonna try to seek it out with one of those drones with the infrared sensor, see if they can pick up the heat signatures in the cold snow, try to locate them that way. I guess
If you can't find them, we don't know how they're doing.
we're gonna have to use the cameras with sensors to pick up where they are through when they camera. That's the only other way to pick them up. We can't, they're way down deep on the side of the river in some areas we can't even get down near. So we're gonna try to at least locate them and see where they are. So if we have to try to get them, we'll try to find a way to get down to them.
The one over by the auto parts store.
We got that one, we know that one.
Because we had raised that years ago.
Yeah, there's two other ones that we haven't located further down the pipeline.
And then isn't there one in the bushes south
We got
of?
everything but two. Everything else is.
The one you found the one in the bushes
Yeah,
between, south of Ethan Allen?
Yes, yeah, well,
South of the parking lot?
yeah, everything has been done all the way except the two that are on the riverbed, right on the river, right behind Napa Auto Parts, behind them.
Okay,
That whole area back there.
okay. So, I mean, the moratorium up on the upper, and, I mean, it has to stay, well, at least my,
Should
I'm,
we
go ahead.
extend it to down below, knowing that we don't know the condition of those pipes.
I don't know, that's, I mean,
Just throwing it out there.
what,
It's up to the board if you want to do it or not, it's your call. I don't, you know, I can just give you what we've done so far and what we're trying to do, but weather's gonna be our factor, so. Money of resources.
we may, I know we may have to consider extending it down there. I don't wanna,
If you feel
I don't wanna,
comfortable extending it, you should extend it just to be comfortable that you're doing, you know. And once we get everything in order, we can at least eliminate sections by use of those flow meters and show that that the flow has been minimized to a degree.
okay, I mean, if somebody wants to make a motion, otherwise we'll let it ride and see what we get for information. It's entirely up to everyone else.
We're coming into the winter.
Yeah.
Which is not typically an
No,
SSO
they-
issue period. It would be spring, so I think we have a little bit of time if you can try to find some stuff over the winter.
There's not a lot of building either in the winter either.
Right.
Connections down there anyways.
I'd prefer to have a little more data before we make a decision like that, because it affects a lot of things, so.
Okay,
We haven't
Okay with
had
that.
any
and that's,
SSOs.
that's the same. Yes,
David Durgan, 68 Eagle Drive. Could you just clarify the,
And over there?
yep, I did, when I came in.
You did, thank you.
Can you clarify where exactly the moratorium is in place right now?
Moratorium,
During the
right?
meeting, you said west of, anything west of, what'd you say, the post office.
right,
But Tom's motion was anything that goes into the interceptor.
right.
Now, the interceptor is from Main Street.
We know where the interceptor is, Dave.
Oh, well,
Okay,
could you explain to me where the interceptor is then? That's my question, is where's
It
the
run-
interceptor?
It runs down Progress,
Yeah,
down Fairview, down to First Ave, and then goes across West Main
so
Street.
it goes
to,
past Paula Lane Circle Drive, correct?
Yes, it does.
So if Conrad Allen was here, he wouldn't be able to tie into it, would he?
That's a discussion we would have to have with him.
You would let a triplex tie into this? Where there's a problem where
There's
everyone
a
else can't tie in?
There's currently a moratorium.
Yeah, but you said it would be up to the board, right?
There's
So
currently.
can he
there
tie
is-
in and other
There
people
is currently a
can't?
moratorium.
Right,
I'm not gonna discuss his business with someone else.
okay. Has he come for a special permit for the Aquifer Protection District for that very lot?
I don't think
That's
we've
you
seen
guys,
any-
right?
I don't think we've seen
We
anything
haven't,
on
we haven't
that.
seen anything from him.
He was
Yeah.
on the agenda for tonight. Must have something.
We,
He has to be put on the agenda.
he asked to be put on the agenda, just like you
Just like
did.
me. Okay. All right.
Okay. So, I mean, yeah, I tend to agree. I want to see more information. I mean, we had concrete information when we,
Don't forget, there's many bottlenecks on that main, and it comes up as everything starts flowing, so just so
Do you-
everybody's aware.
Do you want to revisit it in March, say?
Should just be a standing agenda.
I would just leave it on there.
just
I'll put it on.
standard.
Okay, perfect.
And then, you know, we can discuss it as information comes up, and then we don't have to worry about it, you know, not being on the agenda.
Perfect. Back it under old business.
Okay. David Durgan, you asked to be placed on the agenda.
You guys want to do the Eagle Drive thing first?
It says David Durgan questions, so it's whatever questions you have.
Answer the questions during your, whatever. Go first. Okay. You guys took a tax taking recently you took land from Ted and Greg Shinaki, and you divvied it up along the Eagle Drive, Fairview Avenue, to the people that don't actually own the road. Then you took a tax taken from those people.
Well, no, we did no such thing. We took a temporary easement
Right. And you
to allow for For the engineers to go out there and to do what they surveying and what they need to do to design their,
But you took a tax taking.
no. It's a temporary easement.
Tax
You
taking
took
is
a
completely-
temporary easement and you
Right.
mailed out
Lasts for 1
many
year.
people on the road, along the road, you mailed this out, the temporary taking. To
Right.
those people that don't own the road.
That is,
You keep saying that's corner office, but when I ask corner office, he
That
keeps
is what
ignoring
the-
me. This is water department. You guys issued this,
that
See,
is
I already
right.
did
And
it,
the
remember?
The lawyers did what they needed to do.
right?
I don't know all of the legal part of it. I'm not a lawyer.
But you
I
guys
wouldn't-
are the ones that issued the tax taking, correct?
We did not do a tax taking. We took a temporary easement.
Easement. Okay, sorry. Temporary easement
Right.
taking.
It's not a
On
tax
tax
taking.
taking, right. I don't know why I'm throwing the word tax in there. But it's a temporary easement. and
Right.
You're taking the land temporarily, boring the holes.
Right.
Now, this one doesn't have any monetary value, but the next one will, with the pro tantos. So if you start giving these pro tantos to all these other people, you're gonna get sued, they're gonna get sued, everyone's gonna get sued here, because you guys told these people that they own land that they don't own.
We didn't tell anybody they own any land.
This is this temporary easement's from you guys. This is all from you. This list of people that you took land from, that you're saying that you didn't do, that's you. That's the water department.
We took a temporary easement to do engineering to see if it is feasible to put a water main in.
But you didn't take it from the right people. You didn't inform the Shenanigans
That
who own the road.
is, okay, if the
It's you.
lawyers did it with the wrong people, then we will find out. They say, you know,
Okay.
we're not lawyers.
The notification should have went to the registered landowner.
Exactly, it didn't. It went to the people that bought the houses. I mean, some of them do. Some of them are actually, the deed does say that they have the fee in the road. But for the most of the part, it says Fairview Ave Extension owned by Greg and Ted Shinaki. That clearly tells me who owns Fairview Avenue Extension in their deed.
There are sections of it, yes,
That's most of Fairview Ave.
okay. And then I would assume that they got the notices that they were supposed to get by law.
Are you guys gonna be contributing anything financially to this Eagle Drive project? Because you guys are gonna be profiting from it.
We have not agreed to make any financial contributions to this project at all.
So no money in, and you're getting all the money from the people that are tying in.
People that are using our system, yes.
We will bill
Or
for the
Steve's
water that
system,
we
yes.
send, that it gets used, yes.
Has anybody signed up for that yet, or is this too?
I don't know.
Too early? You wouldn't be part of that?
We don't have anything to do with that.
Some of these houses, like 80 through 82 Eagle Drive, they are no detect on PFAS. Are they gonna be allowed to tie in?
If a water main goes by a house, they have the right to tie in.
Well-
Whether they could have well, they all have wells.
Okay, so that brings
But
the next
that-
question.
That's true anywhere in town.
There's a couple lots like around the corner from 82 Eagle Drive. You know where that cul-de-sac is? I don't know if you guys know the area very well. There's a couple lots. Would those be stubbed out?
You're talking at the end of Fairview Ave, take a left,
Yes.
okay?
End of,
Yep.
complete end of Eagle Drive.
I saw the design and I believe they're gonna put a stub.
So anywhere
But if
there's a
if
lot
something
in
has to be
place
extended
already,
down
we'll have
that way,
we'll have a
it can be
stub.
extended down there.
31 through Fairview Ave, they go through the water line. Are they gonna be able to connect?
I don't know who that is.
It's right at the beginning of you have the hydrant across the street at Circle Drive, right across the street from that. Across the street from Conrad's development.
If a water main goes by a property, they have the ability to tie in if they choose,
Well, they have the right to apply. Doesn't mean
Right.
we have to grant it, but.
yes. But I believe the way this whole project is being put together, anybody will be able to tie in as part of the project. If they choose not to and then wait, and then later on down the road,
Yeah, it's their
it'll be
own
at their own expense.
Get that. This, what's it called? The memorandum thing, this grant, huh?
moratorium?
No, the thing that you guys are applying for right now, the SRF loan, the application that you guys submitted, you put it in July 25th.
The
The
administrator's
the
office.
town administrator has submitted that, yes.
Right, well, it's for you guys, but whatever. What is the question? Oh, yeah. That plan included the Gentex connection and the Joseph Street connection to Fairview Avenue. But plan that we voted for didn't include that. So is that off the table completely, or what?
That is under negotiation.
We voted against that. We didn't vote for that plan. We voted for that plan without those two lines. Isn't that what we voted on at town meeting?
Voted to appropriate money for
So a little bait
that
and
water
switch?
main.
So I mean, I asked that question at this meeting with Jeff Faulkner, and he said that there's a memorandum in there.
There is, and we haven't seen it.
Yeah, I think that was all I had. Questions for you?
Okay.
Got anything for me?
Nope.
Cool for coming in.
Thank you for coming and gracing us with your presence. Eagle Drive PFAS, why is that on there?
The meeting that Brian went to.
Webster?
No, I have questions.
Oh,
for
yes,
you.
yes, okay.
Okay,
Evidently, there was a meeting that was held during the day.
correct, and Brian attended. And one of the first questions was for you to consider, what did you want to do with Joseph Street? What would be your ideal, they want to know, what your ideal,
Well, one thing is you're connecting it, or you're gonna put like a self-flushing hydrant at the end of it or something to keep the water freshened up. There's not, there's just a choice there.
I was gonna say, there's not much flow on that.
Not really, not what they got there, 13 houses or something like that, it's not, I forgot how many there. But just like we do at the ends going on Fairview, on Eagle Drive and that, if it goes on a dead-end area, or it's gonna either go somewhere else and we stop there, there's gonna be a self-flushing hydrant over there, right at the end, to keep the water, we can keep flushing it until something else happens down the line, whatever happens. It's kinda up to the board.
so they're looking like something from you, an official motion of what you want.
Who's
and then-
asking for this?
It was a meeting with John Darwin, from Time
Time
Bond, Brian, and I'm not sure if Olivia was there.
So this is kind of the first I've heard of it, but I can give you my opinion that I think all things should be looped. That's the Gentex, that's the Joseph, and if they're not, and they put a self-flushing hydrant on it, I think there should be a meter pit, and we should meter it and build a town. That's gonna waste a ton of water running the self-flushing hydrants. It's a tremendous waste of water, and, their thing is trying to save a buck now, but it's just gonna cost us and our users a ton of money down the road. If the engineers don't understand that that's poor water quality, leaving dead ends like that, then we got the wrong engineers.
Anyone else?
I agree with it. Board members.
For discussion, I would agree with, I think Joseph Street absolutely should be looped. It makes no sense not to. I've heard their reasoning for, as long as there's X number of houses along the line, there'll be enough usage to keep the water flowing. I don't know, I'm not a hydraulics guy.
And I think their question was, or their answer to the question was that hydraulically, the loop is not needed. Hydraulically means that there's enough pressure and volume, but it doesn't take into account water quality. You're gonna have stagnant water, it's gonna be sitting there for a long time, they're gonna get old water that's of less quality, and we're responsible for the quality of the water for the furthest free flowing tap, so. From my standpoint, I would disagree completely about not looping it. It needs to be looped. Or, like George said, you put self-flushing hydrants on there, which means they're gonna flush all the time. And that's just water you're dumping on the ground. That we're paying to put through a treatment plant, that we're paying to.
How often do they flush? Typically?
Depends on the water
On the
quality
quality.
and how much water you need to turn over to get that water age down.
We're actually flushing Perryville continuously right now, which we have to keep that area maintained clean. We probably do it once a month. And that's a lot of
probably
use.
not- That's probably not enough.
Yeah, it's not really, it's dirty pretty quick. Within 2 weeks, you get dirt in there.
If you look at the DEP recommendations, you're not supposed to have more than 3 to 5 days of storage, which means your water age shouldn't be more than 3 to 5 days old.
In the pipe, yeah,
So
okay.
if you do the calculations on, from the storage tank or from Bates or whatever, and calculate based on the volume of the pipes and how long it takes to get from there all the way down through those lines, and how long it takes to turn over that amount of water through the pipes, through those houses that are using it, you're gonna be beyond 3 to 5 days. So the only way to fix that is to put in a loop so that it's continuously moving regardless of people using the water or not. Like I said, if the engineers don't understand that simple concepts of water movement and water age, then we got the wrong engineers doing the work.
You like a motion that we recommend?
Okay, that's what they're looking for.
Make a motion, we recommend them that we loop both.
Joseph Street and through Gentex. Okay, there's been a motion, is there a second?
Second.
Okay, there's a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, opposed, unanimous.
Okay. Next question is about the form, but I emailed Olivia and she has not gotten me a form yet, the form that's going out. As soon as I do get the form, I'll send it to each of you. If you have any concerns or questions, just email me back directly and we'll work on that. I emailed her, but I believe it's the form for the connecting
okay,
and
yeah.
everything. I saw a rough draft months ago. We had,
What are we,
they didn't have the form, I don't know.
what's the question they have for us?
They want you to look at the form to make sure that any of our information that might be needed on there is,
Okay, all right,
that's all.
okay,
And I haven't gotten it yet.
sure.
Third thing, is they would like, to form like an ad hoc committee of
Okay,
two
I've heard
members
of
of the
this.
Board of Selectmen and 2 members of the Water Sewer Commission to meet to iron out some of the smaller things and bring it back so that there's constant communication between the corner office and the Water Sewer Department.
It's a novel approach.
I'm sorry.
I was thinking the same thing.
So they're looking for you to appoint 2 members that can meet.
What are they looking for daytime meetings? Are they looking for, actually, if it's members of the Board of Selectmen, they all work during the day as well, all but one work during the day as well, so they're gonna have to be evening meetings. What,
And Brian has expressed that it should be people that can communicate well together. How's
Sure.
that? Does that sound good?
I think you do that well, Scott.
it's up to, I mean, I don't know who wants to do this. I know we need to do the same thing with Webster for the,
Yeah,
the,
the Weston Sampson.
yeah, IMA.
Yeah. I was
That's
getting-
gonna be a long-term,
Yep.
that's gonna be a
This-
long-term thing.
This will be.
This will be
This is
short.
gonna be sooner and shorter. And it's to kinda, sorry, I keep looking at Justin.
I mean,
Getting voluntold.
as long as the meetings are, early afternoon or early evening, I can do them.
I really don't know, cause I think
But-
it depends who's on it from the selectmen. They're supposed to be addressing this at some point, and
I have no problem with it.
It's
but,
kinda-
Again, I'm not,
Yeah.
I'm one of 5, so.
it's just to make things go a little smoother and so that there's constant open communication.
Open lines of communication, yes.
I'm just, Brian relayed, and I'm just relaying, and these are.
So we're getting to the telephone version.
I
Yeah,
wrote it
telephone
down.
game, yes.
Trust me, and I
Yeah.
repeated back to him.
Mr. Chairman, is anybody interested?
Is anybody, yes.
I mean, you keep looking at me, so.
Nominated.
I'm willing to do it, I just don't know,
I'm a
like,
shot in the
you know,
dark. I'm never around. I'm working in Connecticut right now.
yeah, I mean, I work in town, so, in theory, I can do most any
You
meeting.
stand, Bob?
As long as it's not Monday or Tuesday night, I can do it.
I doubt it would be a Monday night, because they already have a selectmen's meeting, honestly. Tuesday nights are fairly busy here, because there's a lot of other boards that meet, so,
If it's not Monday and Tuesday, I can do it.
okay.
Okay. Here we
Do you
go.
somebody wanna make that a motion, just so I have it official, please?
Have to be one of you two.
Make a motion, we have Bob and Justin be on this.
Perfect.
Ad hoc committee.
Motion's been made.
Is
Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, motion's been made and seconded to appoint Bob Sullivan and Justin Dolan to the
Ad hoc.
ad hoc committee concerning the Eagle Drive project. Any further discussion? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? There's your chance. Okay, it's
Already voted
unanimous.
aye.
It's unanimous.
Thank
Sorry,
you for
Justin.
volunteering.
Thank you.
Last thing is just something for you to think about. Brian said, you know, they're going to be paying the connection fees.
Right.
That's been established. How do you want them paid? Do you want them paid when they connect? Did you want them the cost taken off of? These are just things that I'm relaying to you. None of them are my ideas. Do you want them taken off the indirects every year, depending on how much it costs? You know, just something for you guys to think about, and that will come up in discussion, I'm sure, when you go to the ad hoc committee.
I don't see why we would not take the money up front.
I would say we do it as we do every other connection, where it's, as soon as they apply for the connection, it's paid up front within 5 days or whatever it is that we have in place. I'd rather not mix and match different things, because we already disagree with the indirects as it is.
So that's, okay.
Just so that you're all on the same page, I appreciate that. That's fine.
Yeah, I had heard 3 options up front.
Yeah.
As we go, or coming off of indirects.
Yeah.
I'm open to either way, doesn't really matter to me, but that can be discussed. Anything else?
Not on that. Nope, that was everything for the Eagle Drive PFAS. But we're talking about, we can talk about the PFAS under old business. The other PFAS.
Oh,
issue.
the Webster?
No, the payment. The PFAS payments.
Settlement.
Oh, the settlement
Settlements, thank
payments.
you.
Yes.
The meeting for tomorrow has been canceled because the accountant is not going to be available.
Okay,
Scheduled it and then she forgot she was in training.
okay.
So, but Brian and I did talk today prior to knowing that the meeting would be canceled for tomorrow, and we both will be attending it. And I did give Sarah a whole background.
So is everybody familiar? Did
I
everybody
sent you
receive
all
the
the
emails?
Yeah. Sorry.
Okay.
Okay.
That's final number?
No, that's,
No, that's only
third
third payment.
Third.
or fourth,
Third payment.
that's 60%, I think?
Yes. Yep.
Yes.
So I did give
I
Sarah.
mean, just above $1 million, I believe, and we've
Yeah,
received-
9 something.
We've received 640,000.
Yep. So I did explain to Sarah the whole, what an enterprise system is, how this all started, how it was prior to Eagle Drive PFAS, how we had that ad hoc committee that you were on, and how the whole committee decided not to get the town involved in this,
Mhm.
and that it was entirely being funded on the ratepayers, as they are the only ones that contribute to the revenue of the water department.
Right.
So she understands that much better. That's not the information she was getting. She didn't get the whole picture. And I said, I'd be more than happy to go back and find minutes from, you know, your committee and all of that and exactly when it transpired and everything. And she's like, no. So she's on the same understanding as I believe you guys are.
Okay.
What was the big question? Where to put the money?
No.
They want to have a meeting, they were going to have a meeting tomorrow.
Tomorrow at 10 a.m. as to how to use the money.
So that money should 100% go towards paying down the debt that was created to build the treatment plant.
That's what I expressed to
That's
Sarah.
The entire intent of that purpose is to take care of the treatment for PFAS.
PFAS, they got into public water
Public
systems.
water supplies.
Right.
And once I explained to her that it was all on the ratepayers and that realistically, we would not have built the treatment plant had we not hit PFAS. So we're the ones, I said, Hank Naughton came into our meeting. You know, we're the ones who went through this. I said, Brian and I
Initiated this and then,
spent hours and hours sending information over to them for this settlement. And this is only one.
And this settlement was based on samples taken from public water supplies
Correct.
that had detections.
Right.
And it was based on the amount of detection, the volume of water that we pumped through the public water supply, which theoretically now if we're adding Eagle Drive on, our volumes will go up. We should have got more money, but we got less money because they're doing it after the fact.
Right.
So we already lost money on that, and that money should pay down the debt because the customers are paying for it.
that was, we've had that discussion.
Right, and so that's what I expressed to her. And so Brian and I were just looking to make sure that you still wanted us to go forward with that information, and that's how we feel. And her reason for this is DLS is telling her that if this money does not get appropriated, it has to go to free cash.
Yeah, this
And I'm
DLS,
like-
they put out a specific memo or memorandum that said that you can create a special account for this, and that's what should have happened.
That it is in that special account at
So it
this
should
time.
sit in that, so it's already there.
Correct.
So
But they're telling her if it's not spent within a certain time frame, that it will be sent
That's
over to
not-
free
Who's
cash.
telling you that?
that is not.
DLS.
I disagree with that.
That's-
I'll look into it more, but I completely disagree with that.
Thank you. If you can just, because I don't have that side of it yet. At the meeting, we were gonna go over everything.
We created the same account in my town.
Right.
Do you want to put that in
Yeah.
well,
I'll look into
Put
it,
it-
but in my
okay.
opinion, that money should sit in that account. It should be collecting interest, and that interest should stay in that account. And we should just pay down the loan, pay down the debt on that loan at the regular payment schedule because it's interest-free.
Correct.
So we might as well earn interest on the money sitting in the bank until we, you know, we can keep from raising rates for the next, if that's $1 million, it's probably a couple of years that we could avoid raising rates based on payments to the
Yes,
PFAS
we can-
treatment plant.
Right.
rate reduction, rate.
Not reduction.
Not reduction, rate,
Stabilization.
Yeah.
stabilization, right. Do you want to put that intent in the form of a motion so that we can discuss it and make sure that everybody's on the same page? Or if somebody's on a different
We can
page?
make a motion on what they do with the money. It's not.
No,
ours.
No.
what our intent is.
I don't know that we need a motion. for
No,
that.
I guess we
just-
don't.
we just need a consensus.
We voiced it, yeah.
And then my next thing would be to find out that, okay, if then at, where are we? Springtown meeting, we would definitely be putting on a warrant article for the spending of this.
Mhm.
Okay, just so that, Brian and I just wanted to touch base with you guys, make sure that,
And theoretically, they don't dictate that you have to spend it by a certain amount. You just need to have it appropriated.
so if,
So if we make the motion at town meeting that all that money goes towards paying that, then you've already appropriated the purpose.
then
of
you're
it.
good, right? Can you, if you have any of that information, would you gladly send that
I'll
over
see
to
if
me?
I can. Yeah, I'll see if I can. I want to check on I don't believe that they would tell you that anyway.
I was surprised by that, and I said to her, I said, but again, we're an enterprise fund. I said, Sarah, the town contributes nothing to us.
Right.
We are self-sufficient. So I don't understand why, you know,
They take money from us, not give us money, so.
Right.
so I just wanted to make sure. So we will stay on top of that, and nobody's taking money from me.
Thank you.
Okay,
From the ratepayers.
and if anything develops.
Yeah, I'll send you guys an email right away.
Tie and bond correspondence.
So you should have seen a couple emails from Jeff and Audrey.
Concerning,
Jeff was the water main contractor upon execution of balance changing order.
oh, the change orders, yes.
Yep, and then, oh, no, Emily, I'm sorry. It was Emily, not Audrey. Audrey was the other side. Emily sent, a draft final of the, change orders and everything, that's all. I think that's basically all we've had from Ty and Bond. It's just basic correspondence at this point.
Is everybody aware of that?
The change orders?
Yes.
Yeah, when I looked at it, it looked like they said, oh, you got all this money left, so you can spend it on change orders. Which I disagree with.
As I read it, where the closeout change order will decrease the value of the project.
Contract. Oh, so you're
To the-
doing a balancing to?
This is
bring
a
it down to
balancing,
zero?
and it's decreasing by, I want to.
343,040
Yes, by a significant amount of money.
But total, well, that's the balancing, but they're adding in that change order, the paving modifications, and the construction and utility survey through the easement, so they're telling you it's a balancing so you can net zero between the two, but they're throwing those two in there for you to pay before you do the balancing.
The everything, the only,
So it's a net of 243,000 as opposed to 343,000, so
I
they're
think-
looking for $100,000 in change orders to pay out before we balance down to zero.
I think, okay.
That's what I
I'm
see.
not sure
That's-
exactly what all those change orders are.
One says paving modifications to George Street and Warsaw Avenue.
Oh, George Street, Warsaw Ave, that's correct,
For
yes.
$93,285.
That was one we approved. The problem here is that Winston Builders and every other contractor gave us a pay rec every month. We're sitting on a pay rec, I believe, for $750,000. And some of these things go back so far that, I'm sorry, I mean,
I don't have it yet, just so you know.
yeah, no, it hasn't come to us yet.
Right.
But that's for the that's for the treatment plant building. This is the G.
No, but GG has just, they haven't given us, this is the third pay rec,
Oh.
where we had 20-something of them
They're known
through, for the plant.
They've sat on millions of dollars of what they should have charged.
Oh, no kidding.
They did it in Webster, did they? They waited
Yeah.
a whole year before they submitted a pay rec. in
So,
Webster.
in any case,
Crazy.
yeah, the only pay rec that I can remember that, and correct me if I'm wrong, the only one that I remember saying no to, change order rather, was West Main Street paving.
Right, well,
Because,
did we ever agree on the post-construction utility survey of the easement?
I thought we did, did we not? I thought we did, they had to,
The punch list, right? That was on the punch list?
that was in the punch list, and they, oh, no, we didn't, we
I
never.
don't remember
no,
ever voting on those because
No.
I disagreed with it because I thought it should, you know.
We never agreed to
I
pay
don't-
for,
I don't think it ever got.
for surveying,
settled,
right.
settled out properly, you know what I mean?
Right, it was all, and I complained about it in the beginning of the construction, that we had established an easement to go a certain way, because that's what the landowner wanted.
Correct.
And then they went and did it a different way, and I'm like, we don't own that easement going that direction. But the landowners wanted to now go the route that we said to go originally. So I don't know where that ended up, and why the engineers would have changed from what was approved. Because the engineers doing engineering oversight are supposed to be sitting there making sure it's installed per the specs, per the design.
Yeah, they moved that manhole had to be moved because they put it in the
I
wrong
mean,
place.
we're paying for CA, so they should be doing it.
But the engineers were sitting there, and none of them could figure out, we had a meeting out there, I don't know if you came to that meeting? And
When they would decide
to establish why we, because they claim that, oh, well, they ran the roll of pipe out and it came up short, and that's where they ended up putting the manhole. I'm like, well, if it came up short, it would be further on the property that it was supposed to be on, not further onto the other property.
Right.
and then they couldn't establish why it was in the wrong spot until they
They
went and
started
looked
from
at
one-
it,
they
and
went-
they started from the wrong
They
manhole.
started from the wrong end, yes.
So station 00 was a manhole previous to where the actual construction started, which made no sense, so. But nobody understood how to read their own blueprints, so it ended up on the wrong property. And we had all kinds of issues out of that, but yet they want us to pay for them to go and resurvey what they messed up watching for the engineering oversight.
Yeah,
You know, we were paying them for engineering oversight. We had more issues with engineering oversight on that project. The road sank out in front of the same person that we had multiple problems with to get the easement. And, you know, then they claim that they subbed out the engineering oversight to meet the WBA requirements of the project. In which engineering oversight is something that we're paying to make sure everything gets done right. That's not something I would agree to sub out to get WBA. That's ridiculous, but. And the WBA portion of it shouldn't be on our engineering oversight. It should be on the contractor's contract to get WBE requirements met. We don't have to meet them on our end with the engineering oversight, so that was a ridiculous claim for them to use that. So I don't think we should pay that. I think that should be on Ty and Bond's back. They should eat that cost. But that's my opinion.
I tend to agree with you.
Yeah.
I mean, I had to fight with you guys to get engineering oversight on the projects to begin with. Because the first one, when they did the water main for the temporary line.
The temporary line, yes, that was
the
a
blending
mistake,
main,
yes.
we didn't do engineering oversight. The whole purpose was
To
so
cut
that you
costs.
get blueprints, as-built, everything else, and now they're saying that we gotta pay extra to get what we're paying them for in the first place. So I disagree with it, but.
Can we send this back to Jeff Faulkner for comment?
Yeah, most certainly.
I think that's the route we should go.
Okay,
The monument, has that been fixed yet?
Can you give her a question for Jeff, the way you want it written up?
I probably gotta talk to Jeff tomorrow anyway on my own,
Okay.
so.
Okay.
That's fine.
yeah, I haven't heard from the property owner, so I'm assuming that monument was put back.
I don't know, cause he questioned it a bunch of times and we assured him that it would get fixed.
Right,
So he might have just been quiet because he's
Has it?
still waiting
I
for
mean,
us.
do you know
to-
for sure that it has?
Back, everything was put right,
Okay.
surveyed properly.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I haven't heard from him, and I've seen him, and I haven't heard anything.
yeah,
from
I would
him.
assume he would have said something if.
And in the past, he would always.
Well, I wouldn't wanna assume just
No,
because
I-
we assured
No, no.
him that we would get it taken
George,
care
can
of
you stop by
regardless.
there and just make sure he's happy?
So I would
Right,
Yeah.
check with him,
Thank
make
you.
sure it was done and he's satisfied with everything that's there because, you know, a lot of things happened after he's the only one that came in and voiced opinions and concerns throughout the entire project.
right,
And it seemed like all the problems happened there.
right. Okay. So we'll send off a,
Well, Bob's gonna speak to him.
for comments, yep. Okay, anything else from Ty and Bond? Okay, Fire Department PFAS and Webster Sewer.
You guys got my notes on the,
Was everybody in, everybody's in on that one?
I sent everything, and I gave her.
Everybody saw the,
It's in the folder.
about the Webster, yes, okay, there's a copy of it in the folder, and I know I tried to read through it as much as I could on my phone, but,
Yeah, I did too. Can we get a summary of what happened there?
okay, so they went out and did some annual testing of all their municipal buildings and ours that are on sewer for PFAS coming out of the sewer, so they could get a reading if it's above the standard.
So Webster does that?
Webster does that. They came out to Dudley, they took a reading at the fire station, and now there's three manholes at the fire station, two in the front where the apparatus and one on the side is actually where the sewer comes out and goes to the main and Mason Road. Problem is that when they got there, they went with the only manhole that had any water in it. Instead of asking people to, flow some water, flush toilets or whatever, they went to something they thought was already an active main and took a sample out of that. Well, the one they took a sample out is one that has the injector in it. Injector's about 4 inches off the ground on the bottom of it. It has like a sump in there, and all the stuff from way back is still sitting in there with all the stuff that's mixed in the water. It's not the actual sewer that comes out that they're supposed to test. So I already called down in Webster. Pam and Mike Spall got together along with me, and Mike explained the situation there, how that system works and everything like that. So now they have an idea, and they know what they had done and where they should have taken the sample.
Okay.
That's why we got such a hit.
George, you guys weren't with them?
No, they did it on their own. We didn't know when they were gonna be there, they assumed something that wasn't true. They went to all the manholes and figured, well, that one's wet, that was the one we take it from, that's probably
What's
the
our
active
policy
manhole.
about somebody else opening our manholes up?
Well, I mean, this is Webster too doing their thing, and I didn't know anything about what they were doing. They just came out and did it.
We got into a major league beef with the former highway superintendent for opening manholes up near the golf course.
Yeah. Well, they figured it was their right, I
And
guess.
somebody from out of town came into our manholes and opened them up, and we didn't know about it? How does that happen?
Well, that's the fire department. It's their manholes, really. It's not our manholes. They just feed into those manholes, because that's where they inject out from the
The
basement.
sanitary sewer is ours.
Yeah,
That's not,
I would look a little further into that though, to see what right they have.
They have
because
the
we
right,
are
Scott, and it's
discharging
not
to
our-
Webster, so they would have
But we
some
should-
right to test on
They
it.
have the
should've
right
called
to
us
test,
and
but
let
we
us
should
know.
know about
We
it.
should be notified as.
They
a
shouldn't be opening
courtesy
any
regarding-
manholes without our
they
knowledge.
had done it on their own, but at least I followed up and figured out what they had done. So that's the thing about it.
They should be notifying us, but they may have a right to.
No, they have a right to test, but we have a right to know that they're in our manholes.
I think that's a question we can ask their board next time we meet over there. To get courtesy.
And if this test, was this annual testing?
I believe it's once a year testing that they do.
At this point, they're a source of PFAS, we know that, coming out of turnout gear. Their gear washer, I'm sure pumps into the, now floor drains and things like that, they shouldn't be pumping into the sanitary sewer. Am I correct? Floor drains should not be,
That's not necessarily
That's
true.
not necessarily true.
that, okay, that was my understanding, maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah, cause if they get floor drains that are not going to sanitary sewer, then they have to either discharge to open air or be registered as a underground injection
I
site.
believe
So-
everything goes in there into a sump, and then
Goes in
they
the sump,
Goes
there's a
into
holding
that-
tank in front.
They have
to a
those holding
sump.
tanks under the parking lot, I remember that from the plans.
There's a holding tank, goes to the sump where the injector pump is, the injector sends it out to where the sewer goes on the side of the building.
Okay, we should probably,
So I think you might be confused on the floor drains or something because of, like our station over on Main Street. We were getting the groundwater infiltrating into the building, and then they were pumping from the sump
yeah,
into the sewer, which is I&I.
right,
So-
okay, all right,
But
yep,
a floor drain doesn't necessarily mean it's I&I, that's
okay.
just discharging properly as opposed
There's
to.
a floor drain, they wash a truck, that goes down the floor drain. That goes
Yeah.
into the sanitary sewer,
Right.
okay?
I mean, it's
I didn't think
not
that was
registered
allowed.
as a car wash, but
No, but, there is, in that email from Webster, they said that there was currently no state standard for
there is not.
sewer effluent.
Right.
You can bet there's gonna be.
Oh, there will be at some point, yeah.
So,
But it should, I mean, these
They-
numbers that I'm looking at are, there's only 3 that are above the drinking water standard. And the discharge limits for wastewater discharge will not be higher than the drinking water, or lower than the drinking water standard.
no, they won't be lower, but they're talking about lowering the drinking water from 20 down to 4,
Couple of years though.
Yeah,
2029. That's not gonna be that far away. It's not that far away, it's only 3 years away. But as good neighbors, it'd probably be a good idea to let them know that when this happens, they're not gonna be able to put water into the sanitary sewer if it's, am I right?
you mean the fire department?
Right,
Yeah, so they should probably have like a POE system on their, turnout gear washing machines.
right?
So it probably should go through some type of filter that would remove the PFAS before it goes into the It would be, do we have a pre-treatment program? We're part of Webster's, right?
Yeah.
So that's one of the things that we should discuss with Webster when you're talking about the IMA, is to say, part of the pre-treatment program should be anybody that contributes PFAS would probably have to pre-treat prior to discharge if they're over a certain level. So we don't have a specific pre-treatment program. Do we have anyone that discharges more than 24,000 gallons a day?
But we should let them know that's not that far away, that's gonna come down, and they're gonna,
Yeah, they might wanna look into, outside services for
start
dealing
look,
with their turnout gear.
start looking now, because, so it doesn't become a surprise later.
You've been on the fire department, you know if there's any, services that do turnout gear?
There are services out there. We have a cleaning machine ourselves, but like I said, I gotta check and see about a filter system on it. I think there's some kind of
There's something
filter,
there.
something that filters it. But when you've got that sitting out there for months on end, just sitting there with, that's where the problem came up from big time, so at least we caught that.
All right. So, yeah, and we need to let Webster know that if they're sampling in Dudley, and nobody should be opening manholes without our knowledge. Nobody should be opening fire hydrants without our knowledge, except for emergency situations.
But those manholes are on the station property too, so you can't, if we were testing manholes out in the street, that's one thing. But this is in the station property, their manholes, their private manholes.
Okay.
So,
All right.
can't really do too much there.
But this might be one of those that,
We definitely talk to them and say, hey, we'd like to be there before you do
yeah, I
anything.
mean, if they're doing that, we might wanna have the ability to take duplicate samples.
That would be a good idea, I would do that. If they're gonna do that again, I would insist that we send our own,
Is that the only one that we had that was high?
yes, I believe so.
So,
From the list, it looked like there was the only property in Dudley that they tested.
Yeah,
I believe all the other gas stations they listed were like High-Low and Noria and the Golden Nozzle Car Wash, and it's all Webster properties. The only Dudley property that was tested was the fire station.
it's probably because they know that's most
That's-
likely.
That may be the only one that's on the sewer system.
Yeah. But, like, if the state ever comes in and takes samples and stuff, I always wanna do duplicate samples, just because, I've seen people from the state sample incorrectly, and PFAS is a very finicky
Right.
test to
probably
do.
ship them out too, with the way they take them, so.
Right.
Freaking like that.
And,
Okay.
I would wanna run
Let's-
duplicate
what-
samples, just,
Yeah,
so far numbers come back low and theirs come back high, we gotta figure out where the problem is.
at least, let's button up that process so that, nobody should be accessing our stuff without letting us know, at least letting us know. Hey, we're gonna be out there next Friday. That could have possibly alleviated the problem with sampling the wrong manhole.
And are we liable if one of them get hurt? Cause they're on town property?
Well, if it's on the
In a
fire
town
department-
station, even though it's their property, yeah, I would assume that they'd apply for an insurance, something for insurance to cover that.
Well, that's, if it's not on our property, then it's not our problem.
Well, it's still town property, so it's.
Yeah, as taxpayers, yes.
Right, I just,
But if they didn't go unannounced and somebody wasn't there, that could open up another little box of worms too, that, hey, we knew nothing about it.
that doesn't matter.
Yeah, well,
If you have a fire in your house and you have a door blocked that's an exit, a means of egress, you're liable if the guy was breaking into your house, stealing stuff, and he gets caught in a fire.
Yeah,
Sounds stupid, but it's the law.
yeah.
So we would be liable if they're lifting up a manhole cover and drops it and takes somebody's fingers off.
Okay,
Not us, the town itself.
yeah.
And I don't know how, cause some of that, I know there's a lot of questions about that based on, like, detail officers. If you send a detail officer out of town, some of the towns bought into one way and other towns bought into another way, and some towns won't work together now because some of them are saying that, you know, if Dudley sends a detail officer to Webster, that Dudley's on the hook if they get hurt in Webster, because they're a Dudley employee, but they're working for Webster.
Probably under a mutual aid agreement like the fire, same thing.
That's what I mean.
We
It's-
cover our own, they cover their own.
Right, so that's where it's I
Yeah.
don't know where that falls into play here.
Yeah, I don't know.
So, like other towns are saying, no, if they're working in Webster, then Webster's responsible if they get injured. And some towns are saying, no, they're an employee of Dudley, so they're responsible if they get hurt in Webster because they're on Dudley's payroll. And I don't recall which way Dudley went with that.
Yeah, I don't know how they pay the details, but
I just know
that's,
that multiple towns got into that debate. And it's a matter of the insurance companies saying who's paying what, who's responsible.
okay, that clock hasn't moved. I keep looking up and it's early. That clock hasn't moved. Okay. All right.
7 minutes.
All right, so all right, let's button that process up. The new position, or I don't know, with 11, we discussed mostly in executive session because of yeah, well, how do folks want to proceed with this? I know what I want to do, but
Enlighten us.
that, I don't know if we're discussing this in open meeting,
It's up to you.
yeah. The unionization, the negotiations the town is in for unionizing, the admin assistants and clerical people in the town hall.
I don't know that this really has anything to do with that per se, because we had kind of had this conversation prior to that coming up.
Okay,
We just didn't move forward quickly, but we had these conversations prior,
sure.
so like I said, I don't really think it has anything to do with the unionization, but I think this is a more appropriate position.
Okay, so
You have to name the position.
we have to name it.
Because when we worked on it, we didn't know what exactly.
Right.
Yeah, we were originally talking about project manager, but I think it's more of an office manager kind of situation, but I don't know what other folks think about it.
I think there's the legalese you gotta figure out, based on title
What do you think?
and definition.
I still think it's project. She assists, oversees all the financials and runs certain things and manages certain things.
Yeah, like I said, I think
Mhm.
you need to look at the definitions and how they legally affect the title of the position.
So, should we,
Mr. Chairman, stepping out a second.
what's that?
Just stepping out a minute.
Okay, should we set, send this to council? We,
I think we
Just
should have a conversation with council
about
to
how
get
to,
some clarification as to what the terminology of the titles mean.
okay,
Because Sean's not incorrect. She manages a lot of different aspects of the department. whether employees directly report to her or something is different than,
Yeah,
Right.
project manager doesn't
Doesn't necessarily,
necessarily
yeah.
have, you know, understudies or employees under them,
right,
you know,
but she does give direction to them, she does work
Delays the work.
all day, she
Yeah.
delegates work to them.
but it would be delegating to his workers,
Right,
not hers.
Right.
That's
So
what I
that's
mean,
what a
so-
project manager works through the
Right.
labor force. So,
that's what I
not
mean,
that
that's,
she
that's
controls
where
the
I don't have enough information on the
Yeah.
labor end of the definitions of the
Yeah.
positions. to-
Right.
Yeah,
And
like
I
I've
don't
managed
either.
projects, but
Right, don't
you
have
know,
direct,
it-
you don't have
I've
direct.
I've had 100 guys on a project, but they work for the superintendent.
Right. They don't
I
directly
just- I
report
just
to you, but you
facilitate-
give them direction.
Yeah, I facilitate the plans, I facilitate the material, I facilitate the game plan.
Right,
and
which is
they
what
execute.
happens.
Yeah, and, you know, coming through this office, it's almost like mini projects. You know, you're always getting projects along with office responsibilities. You know, when it's downtime, it's always my time to clear up all the financials. So things change as projects change, so.
And even a lot of these projects that we have going on, I think 90% of the time when we're asking questions at these meetings, we're directing the questions to her as opposed
Yes.
to him.
Yes.
So,
Yeah.
you know, I agree. It's like I said, I would talk to town
What,
council.
we need, yeah,
Get labor council involved to find out, you know, explain it to them. This is what happens.
Yeah.
And that they can give you the correct terminology and correct title that it should be.
so, I guess we need to get access through
Labor Council?
of Labor Council to find out how best, or what our options are here, or what the proper terminology is, and,
Sure.
okay.
And I think we've been discussing this for
Well, yeah.
over a year.
Yeah, yeah,
Yep.
Long time coming,
yes.
the amount of work you're doing.
I'm still smiling.
This is a pay increase, is that public? Yeah.
It's public
Yeah,
knowledge.
yeah, we also still have, and, yeah, where, and this is a potential new position, but, the, back when we did, performance appraisal, and we voted to give a pay increase, that has been placed on hold by the, personnel manager, I guess, for the town. Can we, we need to find out, you know, how long is this gonna be dragged out? Because
So what I've been told is that it's going to be on hold till union negotiations are done. And then depending on what the union negotiations are, will be the pay increase. Not what
See-
you have voted on,
that's,
because the position,
How does that work with retroactive? I mean, it's not a union yet.
there's no union, and we voted to give a pay
It's
increase.
been out there, it's been out
Yeah,
there
So-
since.
Future determinations shouldn't affect current
No.
situation.
No.
so I know that nobody has gotten a pay increase. That is that position is considered in the union.
We're not responsible for anybody else, we're responsible for, well,
Yeah.
2 people.
So that's
Directly.
what I've been informed, is that,
Because
what's the
our labor force is
negotiations?
unionized, so that's by contract.
right,
And what happens with everybody else in the building is, as commissioners, isn't our problem, isn't our concern.
and then it would be retroactive back to July 1st.
July 1st is what the, right, so we're
Except for
getting close to 6 months.
1 week for me, because they did pay me 1 week,
Yeah,
the increase
Yeah,
that you,
the-
and then they realized they,
yeah, and then they took it back.
They didn't take the
They,
money,
they,
but
they,
just-
they stopped it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but
That's incorrect.
That doesn't sound right to me,
No.
'cause how would that affect, let's say the union wage is less than what your bump was? Where'd that go? It's not a union
Yeah,
yet.
they should owe you the money up until
They
the
should owe you
union
the
takes
money up
effect.
until the day contract is signed.
That's not how they're,
They-
that's not how they're addressing it all.
And I've been trying to maintain, that they don't want to give her the increase because that will then affect the negotiations with the rest of the people. And again, it's not our concern.
No.
Yeah, I don't think they got a say in that, I mean, that was,
Oh,
May wanna
They think
pose
they
that
do.
question to the Department of Labor.
what's that?
They wanna pose that question to the Department of
Right.
Labor.
Right. Doesn't make sense.
so, that's,
Just along for the ride.
I'm glad you listened.
it's gonna be it's gonna be a heck of a retro check.
That's why I'm smiling. Kentucky, here I come again.
But, okay, I don't know, at a loss at what to do.
Where is that determination coming from? Is it coming from council or is it coming from internal?
When we voted, filled out the form, it was sent to the personnel manager, who is the assistant town administrator,
Is that where it stopped?
and that's where it's being held.
But
Somehow it got,
You got the first payment, that's
somehow
acknowledgement.
it
Because
got,
I put it through, because I was not, the first week, I
That's
was
right.
not informed that my raise was not going through, because I was not informed that,
she did it on the spreadsheet, on the,
so I was not
Payroll
informed
form,
that my
the payroll
position
form.
was even in the union. I had never been told nothing.
There is no union, so
Yeah, there is no union
no
yet.
positions in
Correct.
the union.
Well, so my position is, I forget what they, anyways.
it's in the bargain, it's
Bargain, yeah.
in the negotiations for the bargaining unit.
So I put it through on our spreadsheet, like I did with all the guys, you know, they got their, whatever the contract says. And it went through the first week, so I was like, oh, cool, okay. I didn't know anything different. Then the next week, I got information that my position was considered part of the group. Even, I did not sign a card, but that's okay. They were taking the position, and that everything was on hold and there'd be no increases.
They're saying that the position will be in the bargaining unit. Whether the person who fills the position chooses to be a part of it is a different story, but the position itself will be under the control of the bargaining unit.
But the question is, it's not under the,
It's not.
it's not
But it's
You gotta
not
now.
right
operate
now.
under the current rules.
Right,
It's not right now.
right.
You're holding that wage increase hostage for
It'd be like saying we're gonna raise the
Right.
taxes
Yeah.
next year and 3 years from now, so we're gonna start charging you for the taxes
Right.
now, because
Right.
we plan on raising them in 3 years.
Right. The agreement's not settled, so
Yeah.
you're bargaining with people's checks prior to an agreement.
Right.
That doesn't make any sense to me.
So who do we question? The question in the corner office isn't gonna get us anywhere.
That's what I said, you gotta call the Department of Labor and
Yeah,
see if that's even
Department of Labor.
legal. It's been approved by the appointing authority
It's being held by another authority.
based on future potential activity.
I think that's one for the chairman.
I will.
Get him the number. What do you got?
I'll get it.
Can you-
Yeah, we'll get it.
I'll make sure he has it tomorrow morning.
Another, okay. But I mean, it's been,
6 months?
6 months.
it's
at
been,
least.
well, Joe, it will be in
Yeah.
December.
Yeah.
Another, and we do have the legal opinion that we are the hiring authority for that position, until it gets sucked into the union. Then we lose that. And that's why I've been so hard fighting against it. Then we lose control. All right, we'll continue to move forward at a snail's pace with that. The budget. Are you here for a question, or are you waiting?
Wait for the public comment section, Scott, I'm willing to wait.
Okay, all right, I'm sorry, I usually try to
Yeah, no, I appreciate it, but
dispense with that in the beginning. But, we're almost there. All right, the budget. And great job with the, elections.
I have a new list that I'll be working on, and it looks like there's roughly 68,600 outstanding, 68,600, that's over 90 days. So
Oh, it's going down, just little by little, it's going down.
We did have a few people call that are defaulting on their payment plan right now because all their benefits have been canceled. And so they not gonna make their water payment. So I said, well, I will look at your, I'm reevaluating the list, I'll see where you're at, and we'll go from there. I said, try to make something.
We should hinge on other bills,
Um,
it's the same for everybody.
I don't wanna sound heartless, but
No, but
it's,
we have to be fair.
I'm sorry, it's across the board.
We have to take everybody equally.
Right. Show me good faith.
Okay, so it's about 68,000?
68,000, yep.
Okay. Well,
Talk right.
170.
We're getting there,
Yeah.
we're getting
Was
there.
171 the first time?
It'll
Yeah.
slowly come down,
It
but
will.
you're always gonna have the repeat ones that continuously do it.
Well, it went from 171 to 91, and now it's
68.
68.
So I'm happy.
It's, we're moving in the right direction.
Right.
So the budget itself, by the rule of looking at the salaries, we should be somewhere around 35%.
The crossings are high.
That's because we took the payment out.
That's because we did the,
281,000?
we did the true-up, yes.
Yep, that's already been paid.
Yeah, they thanked us for it.
Yeah.
Trust me, it came in, I got it out.
The ask was there any movement on what the payment plan was? And I just looked at him and said, in full. And he just said, what? I said, in full. The check's in the mail.
Yep, I saw that in your
Yeah,
notes.
he was surprised. But they were surprised, but it was the right thing to do. Sewer capital. We spent almost the entire,
Well, it's only $1,000.
oh, it's only $1,000.
It's only 1,000, yeah. Well, I don't know why it says 65. It's only 1,000. Oh, I'm on the water one, that's why. Never mind.
Okay.
Where do we stand with the prior year bills?
So we have two sewer bills. One is LaFleur Electric, and the other is Slim's. I believe George has spoken to both of them.
So they've been at least informed
Yep.
as to,
Yep,
we
yep.
have to wait until the Springtown meeting at this point?
Yes, yes. We, the water one, we did have one for water, and it was for a conference that we attend yearly. So she's billing us for the conference for fiscal '26 right now. And she'll apply to the old balance, but then when that one gets paid, it'll go to this year. I spoke with her, and that was, because it's something we attend every year, and she's not a problem. She understood, that's the extent of it. So, but I know he did speak with both. George, you talked with Slim's and LaFleur, right, about the unpaid?
And if they're okay and understand that
For now,
they
yeah.
gotta get paid at some point?
And as soon as, like, we just got 3 bills from Slim's that you guys signed today, I processed them right away, and they'll get paid for those.
Mhm.
So we're making sure that all other payments are going right out, it's just,
I guess so.
Can we put something in place that tracks purchases, whatever, so that you know what's going on, so we can encumber next year?
That's, I
Just to make
thought I
sure.
knew everything, I apologize, I didn't, Slim's was like the day before, and I did not know about that, and, the mission, I didn't think those two were being done till July, but I did not know that they got done in June.
Was there a meeting that you missed in the spring?
No, I missed the beginning of June, I had pneumonia,
Right, and so you missed the June meeting.
yeah.
I think,
Vacation 8 months a year, so.
I seem to remember talking about getting those done.
Yeah,
Brian said those will be done before,
he thought, but he wasn't sure, we weren't sure about the
Yeah.
last two,
yeah.
but,
All right, so the sewer, water,
Yeah, we just need to come up with some kind of game plan where,
so what I'm.
at least let everybody know that, like, starting in April or May, anything that's ordered or
Basically, it's gonna be, yeah, anything
services
you.
or anything. The
you
ones
need-
that they do service, they tend to
Yeah.
lack on billing sometimes, so,
okay.
The
so-
ordering of stuff isn't a big, that we always are on top of.
yeah.
It's more the maintenance
The
type of stuff,
non-routine, something
yeah,
that
the
pops up.
emergencies that I may not know about or,
Right, so,
but we're working on that.
Okay. So any questions on the budgets, either water or sewer? I mean, to me, they look pretty good.
did we ever get it cleared away on the water main, Article 24?
Yes, cause we got more money. We just got more money. It's not reflecting there yet. But we did just get more and we just paid out in there, we just paid out some money on it.
Okay.
All right.
But it is balancing.
Okay, so all right, I see your note there about the
Yeah, so for the
consolidating the,
For the Springtown meeting, they'll check with the auditors to see what we can combine. You know, what we can consolidate, basically,
Right.
anything that can be put back.
I mean, we've got some, pretty sizable amount of money in, old projects.
Yep.
See if we can clean some of that up. Okay, any other questions on the budgets? Okay, old business, Webster True Up. We had the meeting, last week. That's in,
2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago. That's another one where they want to set up an ad hoc committee. 2 from Webster, 2 from Dudley, and then the consultants to discuss the IMA. It's not, it's doesn't expire until 32. So, I mean, that's 7 years away, but there's some agreement, I guess, that we want to modernize. But is there anybody interested in sitting on that? That's long-term, that's long-term, and it's, probably won't, maybe once every couple of months, I would think. There might be some periods of time where it might get a little bit more, but that's something that's gonna take a while. I think it'll be
Might take
driven.
7 years.
I think it'll be driven more by our consultant and their consultant.
Further south, and I got double knee replacements. so I'm
Since
not
those
worried.
gentlemen volunteered, I volunteer, you and I.
Yeah,
Make a motion to, can I make a motion to appoint?
sure,
Appoint myself?
yeah.
Yeah.
I want you to,
I'll make a motion to appoint
thank you.
Tom and Scott for the ad hoc committee for the Webster IMA.
And I'll second it.
Okay. Those, and again, it's as long as the meetings are like,
yeah.
we just make them convenient. Okay, motion's been made and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Unanimous.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Sitting on the couch for a while.
Superintendent's report.
Most of it is sewer. I did go over the thing with the fire department. The other thing is, you see, we've had some work we're doing and try to maintaining our pumps over Tan Yard. They still got some more issues with them. They're running simultaneously, but they're much better. We've got a new check valve in there, working on the second one. I want you to pay attention to the Patterson Ave pump station, because that's on borrowed time. There's a matter of time before we have big problems with that, so I'm starting to get information on new lift stations and what that might start costing us. But we gotta do something with that within the next couple of years, or earlier.
Do they have any of these in the sewer asset management project that we were doing, Ty and Bond?
No, not directly on those, but that, I think I had mentioned it, that we were to get information on and try to see what we can do to, what would be required to get them back up to snuff and to, and unfortunately Patterson has a whole different animal. That'll have to be a complete renovation with that, but nothing definitive on the whole.
Did they finish the sewer asset management?
Yeah, they did
Yes.
finish
You
it.
should have gotten the final thing emailed.
There was stuff on there, and it did address
Somewhat of.
We went over
Pat-
it.
something about each one of the stations.
Yeah.
Right?
But I'm trying to get some more specific information and costs of what it's gonna mean and involve. It's gonna be quite an expensive ordeal.
But that's part of what Ty and Bond should have did, was
Yes,
the engineer's estimate on what the
it should be in there.
upgrades should be and how much they would cost.
There's a copy of it in there on the desk. Just look it up, see what they said, and then we can go from there. Anything else?
No.
Anybody have any questions? Gotta work on the format of it, George.
All right, I got the picture on that.
Use Word, use.
Yeah, I'm working.
Use a program to, putting it in an email doesn't work well.
We're gonna work on it.
It works, but it doesn't work well.
Yeah.
Okay, any public comments? Seeing as how there's still two people sitting here, I would imagine you have comments.
Hey everybody, I'm Steve Watroba, 22 Lawrence Road in Dudley. Mr. Chairman, if it's appropriate at this time, can we revisit the moratorium? I'd like to talk about the moratorium. I know it's
Okay.
on. Okay. All right. So
We could have,
I know the previous meeting, you guys discussed the possibility of making the moratorium, expanding the moratorium to pretty much townwide.
right.
And
We're
we brought it up
still-
again tonight, but again, you want more information. So,
Yep. We've got a lot of work going
So
on.
I do understand that. I've been following it very closely. As you know, I also have a personal reason why. My problem's much bigger because I'm part of what goes into West Main Street, which is directly affected by the Potash Brook Interceptor,
Right,
which causes the SSO,
right.
which triggered the whole process that started this whole thing.
The moratorium, right.
Exactly. So the way I understand it now is the problem with the Potash Brook situation is, from what Ty and Bond said at their presentation way back when, like 2 years ago or whenever that all started, they said it's two things. We've got an I&I problem. That's water that's getting into the sewer system that shouldn't be there. And in combination with that, we've got a restriction of the flow to simplify. That's the interceptor and the pipes that are down there. So at the time they said, if you solve your I&I problem, the interceptor, the pipes and everything that are there right now could actually handle the current flow. But I know, being forward thinking, the board's thinking was, what about expansion down the road? Even if we fix the I&I, if we've still got a bottleneck, if we get more users coming on, then we've got a problem. So I understand completely why the focus now is shifted to not only what George and his crew is doing, which is fixing the I&I or finding as much I&I as they can. I know a lot of stuff up by Nichols College and everything. I heard all about that, so I understand that. So I understand all of that, and then I understand the second part would be to fix, what is it, is it Progress or Prospect? I always forget.
Progress.
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 To fix what's going on down there that causes the bottleneck.
There's a bit of a bottleneck where it goes through that right away, and there's another bottleneck all the way down the bottom.
Lately, I've noticed the focus has changed to, let's look at the line that runs, correct me if I'm wrong, it pretty much runs parallel to the river from the Jericho section of Dudley, runs along the river and goes by Napa, I guess.
Yep.
Right, and eventually goes down to the.
Goes past
Okay.
Ethan
So the
Allen
concern
and then
is,
through the
we've
woods.
got an I&I issue over there because we've got some manholes that are near the river. They're close enough that if the river's high, if you've got a crack in that cement manhole, you could have tremendous amount of I&I going in there.
Right.
The thing is, no matter how much water you've got going into that line, that's going directly over to the sewer station,
Webster, yeah.
directly into Webster.
Right.
Obviously, it's a bad situation. Every cubic foot of water that goes across that river, Webster charges Dudley for, and Dudley passes it on to the sewer users. So, not a great idea. We got to fix that. However, I guess the point I'm trying to make is, none of that is going to cause an SSO. It's all after the bottleneck, if you follow my logic.
You're bringing up a portion of it. The original conversation that we had was because we were having backups, and your machine broke down. You had to have Webster come over and try to jet the line because it was blocked up when they were doing that whole project over near Mill Street. They identified that there was a backup there. So because it was backing up there, and I don't think you figured out the complete problem to that yet.
Has there ever been an SSO in town anywhere other than West Main Street?
No.
Not that we know of, but if there's manholes that are along the river that we don't know where they are, those technically could overflow, and we don't know it because we don't know where it is, and nobody sees it because it's right next to the river. So because it hasn't been identified, if somebody's kayaking down the river one day and it's overflowing because we had a heavy storm, we don't know that until we evaluate it, which is why it came up as a conversation.
Oh, but I guess I'm bringing up the point that
I
what
understand
started
you
the
got a
whole
valid
process,
point.
what shut down, basically what started the whole moratorium was the SSOs on West Main Street. And the SSO on West Main Street doesn't happen. It doesn't occur because of anything that's happening on that line along the river. And I'm not suggesting that the line along the river doesn't need to be repaired. I absolutely agree. It should have to be repaired. I'm just questioning the wisdom of necessarily adding it to the moratorium.
But that's why we voted not to add
That's
it right
why
now.
we're
That's why
not
we're
doing it.
doing more investigation first.
Right, and that's why I'm speaking to you now, because you haven't made the decision, and I want you to just keep these points in mind.
Yep.
Also, if you're thinking about who's gonna tie into that line, Jericho's fully built out. I can't think of a lot that's over there that isn't already built. You know, it's fully built out. It's not like it's a section of Dudley where you've got, it's not like Jesse Road, where you've got a development that's just waiting to go in as soon as he has it. That's, yeah, but anyways, but then I thought about it, and this is the question I really have for the board. If you decide to place a moratorium on that line, how does that affect the Stevens Linen Mill complex? Does it affect the Stevens Linen Mill complex? Because we're talking about, the mill had, probably 12 bathrooms in there at the height of operation. But when that becomes an apartment complex, that's a hell of a lot more flow that's gonna be going in there. And am I wrong in assuming that that is not gonna be going right into the line we're talking about?
That would definitely be a reason for concern for us as to if there is a blockage in that line and we have any issues.
Right.
We wouldn't want to add that and then all of a sudden start having SSOs because we're adding that much additional flow to a line that we're not sure can handle it
We're
yet.
working on this right now.
So my concern is if you were to vote and expand the moratorium, if that shuts down the developer of the Stevens Linen Mill complex, how does he not sue us being the town? Which costs
He
all
can
the
sue if he wants
taxpayers.
to, but he doesn't, if, we can't violate environmental laws based on somebody else wanting to connect. And to be honest with you, whether we have a moratorium or not, they haven't come to us to connect yet, and we could deny them at that point.
Okay.
And the mill is connected.
And it's a large main there at the mill.
The mill
Yeah,
is
I kinda
connected
wondered about
already.
that fix, because
So-
it's already connected, whether or not it was like, I don't like to use the term grandfathered
Got-
in, but you know what I mean.
We do have time too, Steve. It's not like we're,
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's why we're looking at it now,
we're
is to
looking at
fix
that
it.
whole area,
Okay,
you know.
So we wanna resolve the issue before it gets to that point.
All right.
Sorry.
No.
We're more concerned with the amount of money we're paying Webster now,
yeah,
we need to get rid of the infiltration.
yeah, like I said,
So we
I
don't know if
understand.
that line is underwater now. You know, it's,
We're paying them to treat river water. If the river is indeed getting into the line, paying them to treat the river.
That's what I was saying.
That bill to Webster
And then dump it back
yearly
in.
is
Yeah.
close to $1 million now.
Steve, just remember, we have limited money with I&I. Now that it looks like we got pretty good for a grant.
Okay.
We're gonna move forward come springtime. Do that, do more testing up by Nichols there, maybe some smoke testing, some camera, whatever. Try to, because we've done very good now. We haven't had an SSO yet.
Okay.
Okay? I know we've had some
We had a
big
very
races.
dry summer too.
It's been dry.
But we still need to do this as much as we need to do that.
We had a very wet spring, though. How'd we do in spring?
We didn't,
We had one in the spring, right?
no, not this past one. We had one
That was last year.
last year.
Yeah, because this past spring, I mean, we all know, we had
Buttoned up a
we
lot
had
of
like
stuff
2
before
weeks
all
where
the
it wouldn't
Nichols
stop
were.
raining.
You know, come by anytime you want, I'll give you updates, because we're constantly doing everything we can to.
Is there a lunch involved?
That's what you bring.
You bring it.
If you bring it.
Salad.
Okay, all right, well, thank you for your time.
Okay.
That's all I had.
Yes.
Before this guy goes, you guys are all set with Sophie's Way? You're, everything that you have to do at Sophie's Way, you're all done? He's all done, I mean?
Yeah.
Okay. Your discussion brought up a question for me. Are there self-flushing hydrants at the end of the line right now? Or
We
at
don't
the
have
end of-
self-flushing hydrants anywhere in town.
No?
That's a somewhat new,
So, what, do you just flush it every month, like he was saying, like George was saying?
they,
Flush it once a month?
Perryville is flushed once a month right now, and that's minimum. That should be flushed twice a month, basically.
That's it.
We're able to get away with once for now. Winter comes, gonna be a little bit different.
That's where we have a water quality issue, which is what I'm talking about. If they do Eagle Drive, and don't,
What if there was another subdivision right next to Joseph Street? Could you loop it in that way?
it's still not a loop. If you've got one line coming in and you got these little circles, that's not really a loop.
Well, it'd be a loop down Joseph Street behind that last house and then up the
I'd have to
subdivision.
look at a map, I'm not as familiar.
yeah, no, that,
with roads as you are.
that's
It's
not
not there.
really a loop because it goes back to the same place, basically.
Ah.
So it's just,
You
what,
wanna
what,
go on a separate line out towards the street again, down,
Want it
go
to-
underneath, you're actually gonna go underneath the brook.
so water would be flowing away, flowing multiple paths.
Gotcha. And I noticed that you guys made a simple motion to add Gentex and Joseph Street there. That's $20,000 worth of pipes. You don't have to go-
Motion
Well, it's not a simple
recommend.
motion that, it's what we want.
Right.
So we're not saying that it's gonna be done, but that's, they asked, the selectmen asked, or
Yeah.
whoever it
That's
was,
been part of
asked
the
us
discussion since the
for what we
beginning.
would want. And
Yeah, no, I remember George
Right.
talking about why Paul Lane Circle Drive should be there too. But it doesn't matter what you want. So that's all that was. That was just a motion to tell them what you want.
and
And
this is
then,
what we want, this is what we're gonna say is, one of our minimum requirements.
was that already built into this 14.2 million?
The dollar amount on the project, I don't really look at it. I just look at what should be done correctly.
Gotcha. What about Scott? You got any information on that one? No?
Oh,
Ken? Nothing? Gotcha. Cool. Thank you.
any more? Okay, board comments?
Thanks, Dave.
All set.
I'm good.
No?
Motion to adjourn, Mr. Chairman.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.